Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the differences between Upwork and Fiverr, including the pros, cons, and what you need to know before you start working on these platforms.
Okay, so let's start with. Should we start with Fiverr?
Yeah, sure.
So, what are the pros of Fiverr? In my experience, the Fiverr has clients coming towards you, whereas Upwork, you've kind of got to go and hunt for them.
Yeah, that's it. Because like on Upwork, you're often competing, applying for jobs, and sometimes jobs have like 50 proposals that you're competing against. So there's a lot of competition. Whereas Fiverr, they can just instantly, directly message you, can't they?
Yeah. They'll just
Yeah.
type in the keyword, and the top sellers usually get most of the sales, and you're going to get a lot of orders that way. There's also like buy requests on Fiverr where
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
actually buyers will put out a job and you can apply for them, but they tend to be like bad quality customers in
Yeah,
my
that's it. I
experience.
don't tend to bother with those anymore. I did do when I was first starting out, and I needed to boost my rankings and get a bit of traction and win some new clients. But these days, once you got a good profile, the clients tend to come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say another one is a lot of your Fiverr competition. They're just bad quality profiles, a lot of typos in the titles, and just by being a Westerner, you can really stand out from all the other nationalities who are making constant typos and perceiving it a bad quality kind of service.
Yeah, I think that's the same for like Upwork and Fiverr. Like it's such it, even though it sounds kind of bad, like you're kind of demonstrating your value if you come from a Western country on Fiverr or Upwork,
Mm.
and they can see like a video of you or a picture of you and where you're located, and that your copywriting is really clean and it's great English. It's going to be a big part of your credibility on your profile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd say with Fiverr, there's less Skype calls. Like an Upwork, you're going to get a lot of
Yeah, for
people who want to
sure,
get on
man.
camera with you and want to talk to you,
This is
and it'll take a lot of your time as well. A lot, I remember doing a job interview once on camera for about an hour, and he didn't even hire me. It's like
that's
that's an hour of my time gone.
that's it. I mean, these days, like I I try to avoid, even on Upwork, I try to avoid video calls at all costs, or Skype calls,
Yeah.
because it's like a massive waste of your time. And like quite often, if a potential client is serious about hiring you, they just want to get started. They want to know you can do the job and then get started. Whereas like these tire kickers, you just want to,
Yeah.
squeeze information from you for half an hour. It's a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite often you don't need to do that with the serious
Mhm.
ones. Yeah.
Another benefit with Fiverr is the way the platform is. It really helps you with like upsells and stuff. So you can turn a low order into a high order by offering upsells, make it a good deal. You can modify the order dead easy. Whereas on Upwork, you got to like mess around with contracts and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. On Upwork, like it's kind of a bit more. Upwork's more like a project. Like you have milestones, so you do the first milestone, then you do the second one, and everything's like a logical flow. Whereas Fiverr, you can squeeze more money out of your clients by offering upsells, uh, even when you're halfway through delivering the first milestone. So it's just much more designed for making more money. Yeah, in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the next one? Would you say Fiverr's bigger than Upwork? Or maybe equal?
I think it would. Yeah, I mean, like I think.
I haven't really checked, but like it seems like Fiverr has like a lot more traffic.
I think it's like when I know going back a few years ago, like Fiverr was in the top 100 websites in the world, like in terms of traffic. So it was seriously popular. Whereas Upwork it's really well known. Like if you work online, you're gonna have heard of Upwork. But outside of that sphere, like you won't have heard of Upwork. Whereas Fiverr, everyone's heard of it, haven't they? Everyone's tried to buy
Yeah.
something off there because it's a lot bigger. And it sells a more diverse range of stuff, doesn't it? It's not just about hiring a freelancer.
I think there's a different mindset with Fiverr clients and Upwork clients. I think Fiverr is just quick tasks, get out of the way. And
Yeah.
for Fiverr sellers, that money kind of adds up a lot. So it's like a quick one-off job from Fiverr.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas
yeah.
Upwork, it's more long-term retentions there.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, and like I think as well, tying in with that, Yeah, because there's so many people doing so many jobs, and they're just like small one-off micro gigs, aren't they, almost?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like there's a huge churn of like hundreds of thousands of freelancers on Fiverr.
Hmm.
Whereas Upwork, I mean, they even filter who they're hiring and who they have on the platform now, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot harder to get
Yeah, it's a lot
approved.
more strict on Upwork.
Like on Fiverr, you can create your profile, you can set up a profile today, get started today. Upwork, I don't know how long the verification process is now.
It's getting harder and harder these days. You need, if there's if you apply a job where there's a lot of sellers, they just don't approve you. So sometimes you've got to.
There's a hack in there.
There's a hack where
around
you
it.
pretend to be offer a different service that but no, the it's all about supply and demand. If there's a job that's not being fulfilled, and you apply for that job with your new skills, they'll approve you because that's going to make up money.
Yeah,
But stuff like graphic design and stuff, it's pretty difficult. Even though it's a huge category,
it's
like hard to get approved on Upwork for graphic design now.
This is what I heard actually. I was speaking to I was speaking to my mate about freelancing on Upwork, and he was saying like they've got a big problem now where they've got so many clients. So many freelancers, but not enough clients.
Mm-hmm.
So it's becoming extremely competitive, and that's why they're filtering. Different niches like SEO. I think they're pretty tight on. Graphic design, they're pretty tight on.
Yeah.
And they're just like stopping the flow of freelancers to the platform.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do it with Fiverr, so like they're just
Fiverr's just like
flooded with.
I feel like on Fiverr as well. Like they've created such a competitive market. Sometimes they want to make people feel like they have to bid down, even though they don't. They don't have to bid down. They want to make people feel like they have to.
Yeah. If Fiverr, a lot of people drive the prices down, don't they?
Yeah. That's it.
What's the next one?
I think one of the biggest differences for me personally, but you're probably going to say something different, is that Upwork has, for me, has always had much higher paying clients. Like, so I've several clients on retention on Upwork who are paying like $1,000 a month, right? And it's quite easy once you've got an established profile to do that. But on Fiverr, it's just like little bits here and there, and my income is passive, so it's not a big deal. It's actually pretty good income, but it's not the sort of high ticket prices that you always want. Exactly, yeah. It's maybe a quarter of my income rather than Upwork, which is a lot of it.
Yeah, I think it all depends on the type of service you're offering.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
For example, like with stuff like SEO, stuff like ranking, all that kind of stuff. A lot of clients, if they feel like if they pay the lowest price, they're going to get the less quality, and if it's their business, Upwork was a lot of small businessmen, and so they usually maybe between expert and intermediate, maybe in between, not the crazy expensive, but somewhere in between. But yeah, it kind of depends on the category and stuff. But I find it's the opposite for me. On Fiverr, there's higher paying clients than there is on Upwork. So
it's true. Maybe it depends on your niche, isn't it? What you're trying to sell, who you're trying to sell to.
Yeah. I feel like Fiverr, you're not really locked into any contracts, stuff like that. You've got a bit more freedom, in my opinion. Whereas Upwork, like you're their personal SEO guy or your personal designer, and like you feel like they're bitch a little bit,
Yeah, you can do. I think there's definitely like an element of pressure. I feel like on Upwork, you've got this set milestone. You've got to deliver it by a certain date, and like they've hired you for that job. Like, you're their associate freelancer, and it's a lot more pressure. Whereas Fiverr's like it's a bit more fun. It's a bit more relaxed. Even like the branding's a bit more relaxed on Fiverr, isn't it? It's less professional probably in general. Yeah. I think coming on to like higher paid gigs though as well. They've recently launched this Fiverr Pro.
Yeah,
and like they've got some like pretty big names. Like I saw the graphic designer for Apple's logo.
Oh yeah, there's even some celebrities in there.
Yeah, like was it Wycliffe Jean?
Wycliffe, he's on there. Like
big Wycliffe, you can hire him for your
music. If you go on Fiverr and search like Wycliffe or something, you'll see some kind of interesting gigs. But like in my experience, I don't see the Fiverr Pro really killing it right now. Not at the moment, maybe in the future.
Not yet.
But I feel like I said before about the mindset, people going in to get a quick a quick job done. They don't really go to Fiverr, in my opinion, to get the top of the creme de la creme kind of quality work.
Yeah.
But I think Fiverr's trying to push that. They're trying to be more like UpWork a little bit with that, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's really hard to get approved. You need to have like
it's crazy
qualifications and proof of certification and stuff.
And like it seems super tough. Apparently, they only approve 1% of everyone who applies. So it's like you've really got to be like the creme de la creme. But also the other thing is what I see on a lot of these Fiverr. There's a lot of Fiverr Pro gigs around now, but most of them they don't have any reviews.
There's like 2-3
Nobody's
reviews.
buying them. Like they're just nowhere near as popular yet as normal sellers like yourself.
It's in a few years' time. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, let's see. It's definitely going to change over the next few years.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think one of the other things that I've noticed between Upwork and Fiverr is the review score. It's so much harsher on Upwork.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're very honest. Whereas Fiverr are like, oh yeah, good experience, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And Upwork, they go into like their life story about things, don't they?
Exactly, but also like the review score. So like on Fiverr, if you've got like 4.5 stars out of 5, for example, or 4 stars out of 5, that's still a strong profile, right? It's not perfect, but it's really strong. Whereas if you're on Upwork and you have like a score less than 90%, it just looks weak compared to everyone else.
Oh, really?
Like if I'm looking to hire a freelancer and I see a writer that's got less than 90%, I'm like, bro, there's so many better options out there.
Yeah. I think on Upwork you can filter by feedback. They can only see people with profiles above 90%.
Exactly.
So if you're 89%, you're just going to be locked out of that filter.
You're out the game straight away, and that's really harsh because even if someone leaves you, if you've got in reality, like if you're at university or something and you got 70%, that's still like that's like the highest score you can get is like 70% at university. That's like a first. On Upwork, you got to be almost perfect. Fiverr, there's a lot more breathing space. It's just a lot simpler. Yeah.
Should we talk about the cons of Fiverr now?
Yeah, let's talk about the cons.
So
there's a fair few, right?
Yeah. So we said it was a good thing that clients will just come to you and make an order, but a lot of his clients can be really bad clients, and then they ask you for more work than that you're offering, and if you give them a refund, Fiverr, like, it hurts your profile. So you got to try avoid refunds at all costs, but you've got to, you're going to get a few idiots. You've got to really they've got so much leverage over you, and if they leave one bad review and stuff, that can hurt your ranking and stuff. Sometimes you got to just take it on the chin sometimes and let them treat you like poop.
You just gotta and sometimes as well, like if a client's asking for a refund on Fiverr, and it might frustrate you a little bit, but you've just got to let it go. Like I if someone asks
remove your ego,
forget it. Like it's only
if you're going like a back and forth battle with the client, just refund. Don't waste another second.
Exactly, because that's your time. You're getting frustrated. It's your energy, and it's going to affect everything else that you do. It's not worth it. Yeah.
The biggest stress to me is though you get blatant thieves. They'll make an order and they'll take advantage of Fiverr. And they just ask for a refund to Fiverr. Fiverr don't really ask the seller like, oh, what's your side of the story? Exactly. They just go, buyer.
Yeah, they always favor the buyer.
So I've had a couple of $1,000 stolen from me.
A few ding dongs on Fiverr, I know, like on.
And not only that, you get the refunds hurt your profile as well as they stole your money.
Oh yeah.
So it's but I'd say, 90% of Fiverr people are fine.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's just the cost of business. Like if you had an offline business, you're gonna get people stealing stuff from your shop.
Well, you're gonna get people coming in for free samples and
ice cream,
like we were doing last night at Haagen-Dazs. Just that's it. I think though, coming on to that, if you compare that against Upwork, I can't remember the last time I gave a refund on Upwork. Like it must have been 1 or 2 over the 3 years I've been on there. It's extremely rare.
Is that anything to do with picking the clients beforehand? We'll get onto that with Upwork, with pros. So what are the cons of Fiverr? yeah, I say a lot of people they're looking for cheap work. So like I said before,
Mm.
you know, they're looking for the low prices and stuff. So
Quite often you get like clients from India messaging you,
yeah,
and like not just looking for cheap stuff, but I've had a few, and I think you've had a few as well, where like someone asks for a refund before they've even bought your service. So like, does this include like free refunds? Like, can I get a refund?
yeah.
You know, if I
If
don't
I don't
like it,
like something, can I get a refund? I'm like,
get out of it. Like, I'm
straight away
just
I know he or she's gonna be a problem. I just say to him, just choose one of your other sellers.
yeah, that's it. I'm like, I'm not even
It's not what
interested.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's not worth my time, and
So it's not worth the risk of the review.
it's
You
a
know.
massive red flag, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
The other thing is spam. Like, there's a ton of spam on
yeah,
Fiverr, right?
the other day I was like, oh, I they sent me a message saying they loved my profile. Please check out my work here. Please
Mm-hmm.
review my work. And I clicked the link, and next minute my computer just detected a virus and stuff. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it, you know?
That's it. Like stuff like that. Stuff like people saying, "Can I pay you outside of Fiverr?" And if Fiverr pick that up and you say yes, they could potentially kick you
Yeah,
off the platform. So it's a little bit of a honey trap,
yeah.
isn't it? You
You've
know?
got to pretend that and Upwork
Yeah.
that on Fiverr that Fiverr support are reading every single message. So
Mm.
you know you can't risk incriminating yourself by talking about offline payment. You just a lot of clients they give me their email and then you know they've got like a filter system on Fiverr
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah,
this
yeah.
person's using email let's read the messages.
Yeah, that's it.
It just it triggers people to what. So you've got to be careful with how you say. Um,
Yeah, just don't fall for that trap because like it's not worth it. You know, there are ways you can take clients off Upwork, for example, um, but you just have to be extremely careful. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you want to talk about
So
Upwork? Yeah.
up now we're going to talk about Upwork. So the pros of Upwork. So
Well, we've talked about a lot of the pros, but you want to talk about some of the disadvantages, or
yeah, you go for it.
yeah.
You're more the Upwork guy than me.
All right. So I think like for example, when you're first starting off on Upwork, and it's like any other platform really, there's a lot of grinding, so you've got to it's kind of like a job board, and you've got to hunt out the right jobs for you and track down the right job applications. And it's a bit of a grind because at first you've got to find a job, check out the client's background, make sure you want to work with them first,
Yeah,
apply for the job, wait for them to come back to you, and have like a little bit of a job interview process. So actually winning a job takes a long time, and that's why I'd say to get around that, you need to go for the really high value clients. You know, the guys who want to spend like $12,000 a year with you or
yeah.
more. You know,
You only get like
yeah,
60 connects a month, which
exactly. Yeah, it's
so
limited.
that's you're only allowed to. So it takes two connects to
Mm.
message
Yeah,
a
yeah.
client. So you've only got 30 job offers that you can apply for. So you might as
Mm.
well get the best chance of clients. So you can look
Mm.
at their past history,
Their past
how much they've
history.
spent,
Exactly.
if the payment verified. If they've not spent
Yeah,
a
yeah,
penny,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know it's probably better to
Yeah, that's it. Because if they haven't got any spend history, then they're unproven on work. They've just turned up on there. They have no track history,
yeah.
and it's just
Say
it's
most of
lacking
those
in
clients they
trust.
don't respond
Yeah,
to you, do they?
yeah, exactly. And also you can check which country they're based in, which I think is quite important because first of all, sometimes they're going to message you, and you're going to be in a different time zone, but also you know different countries have different cultures of work, which
Yeah.
means that some are going to be really hard to work with, aren't they? You
Yeah,
know.
and they're gonna be bugging you on Skype like, "Hey, why am I not a millionaire?"
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you just have to be aware of that before you start working with some clients. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I I got into trouble with Upwork in the past. Basically, I offered both my services on Upwork and Fiverr, and
Yeah.
a client hired me on Upwork and then found me for cheaper on Fiverr. And then he told me on Upwork, "Oh, I found you on Fiverr. I'm going to hire you on Fiverr instead."
Mm.
Upwork saw that, so they've been reading the messages, and I got into trouble for it. They didn't care what I had to say.
The Upwork police.
They just suspended me and just killed my income. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's brutal. I mean, like I think I've never actually had any problems with like the Upwork police, but I know a lot of people have had.
Yeah.
Like you know with unfair dispute decisions.
Mhm.
You know when they're battling with a client for a refund or or some sort of compensation. Um, yeah, certain things that you have on your profile, certain niches that you're going for when they have to verify you.
Mhm.
The Upwork police is like it's a massive con of Upwork because this, although you can control 90% of your profile, there's that 10% risk that you've got to account for with the police.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Um, I'd say yeah, the retention is there as well. So you got to get longer contracts, and you get a lot of repeat customers on Upwork, don't you?
yeah, yeah. That's it.
So if you do a good job, and sometimes like they tell their friends and they send you a profile, and like, oh, Gary sent me, and he
Yeah,
says,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we work well together. Whereas Fiverr, you never speak to them again a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, yeah, most of my clients on Fiverr, they disappear after one purchase. I think um, one thing to bear in mind, before you start going on Upwork and setting up your profile, your niche, is like think about what's going to get you retention long term.
Yeah,
So
so pick your
like
business
exactly,
carefully.
be really careful about where you pick your business. So, for example, I was doing sales copywriting, and when someone hires you for a sales copywriting job, it's just like a one off. It's like, okay, they need a funnel written or they need a sales page written, and they'll hire you. It'd be a decent pay, but you're not going to see them again. And all that energy you put into applying for the job has been wasted. Whereas if you get if you pick a niche like graphic design, where people just constantly need to churn out designs for their business and new graphics, they're just going to hire you every single week. It's going to be a solid source of income, and if it becomes really reliable, you can just outsource it. So it's
Yeah,
like it could potentially turn into a passive income stream, even though you're freelancing right
yeah.
now.
Well,
Yeah,
one of the things with Upwork that maybe not recommend, but if you avoid getting paid by the hour, doing paid by the hour jobs, because the way Upwork works, they can actually see your computer screen if they pay by the hour, so they know if
yeah.
you're,
If you're messing
if
around in
you're
the
on,
background, yeah,
yeah, if you're on
yeah,
Facebook or
yeah, yeah.
something, and they're like, you know.
I've actually never used this
So
software.
I've never
No,
tried it. I'm not,
I don't
I
plan
can't
to
be
at
bothered
all.
with it.
No,
But and if you outsource a lot of work, so if you want to, a lot of the times once you get busy and stuff, you hire help like virtual assistants and
yeah,
stuff. So, you
yeah, yeah,
can't,
yeah.
if they can look at your screen, the outsourcing's not going to work, is it? So I tend to stick with fixed prices on Upwork.
That's it, and exactly, and also like you don't want to feel like the whole one of the biggest reasons for leaving a 9 to 5 job is that you don't want someone looking over your shoulder all the time and
Mm-hmm.
like micromanaging you. You want to follow your own path basically, but with the Upwork software, that is literally it's worse than
It's
having
just
a
like
boss.
having a boss over your shoulder like that.
It's just like someone staring at
You
your
know,
screen like all day.
just
Like
kind of puts you
it's
off.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that's like with Fiverr,
yeah. You
it's not
yeah.
personable, but
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's a big thing.
And both platforms are they take 20%, so you
Yeah.
can.
Oh, but this is the thing also with Upwork.
It's easy to get them off Upwork, isn't it?
Yeah, but not just that. Also, like Upwork has a sort of tiered fee structure, right?
Okay.
So tying into the retention, right? Say you have a client that's paying you $1,000 every month. After the first 500, uh, the Upwork fees are actually going to go down.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
then
that.
I think it's after like 1,500 or $5,000 that they paid you, the Upwork fees actually go down even more.
To what?
To I think it goes down all the way from 20% down to 10% down to 5%. It's
That's a
actually
that's a big difference.
at the point of 5%. That's not far off PayPal. It's
Yeah,
not far off getting paid off PayPal.
yeah,
And that's a pretty useful thing for anyone who's got retained clients long term. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's good.
Mm.
Um, I also feel like a lot of clients, a lot of Upwork clients, they'll do the first contract, and then because you've worked together, you've exchanged probably emails and
Yeah,
Skype,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll just message you on Skype like, "Oh, can I hire you again?" But we don't need to do Upwork this time. You've developed that trust, and they'll pay you by PayPal and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
But
Yeah,
obviously, there's no
yeah,
protection there. The good thing about with Upwork is, and that's what's gonna cost you in fees, is the escrow. So they don't release money till you've done a good job. But once you've established that trust, a
yeah.
lot of the time they proactively get you away. But do you decline that, or do you always stay in Upwork?
No, I have kept my clients on Upwork like most of the
Yeah,
time. Yeah. But
because you want the protection of the
I like the
escrow.
protection, and I know like once it hits 5% fees, it's not a big deal
Yeah,
anyway because you've got that protection on top. The one thing I will say though is like if you're gonna go to PayPal or to Stripe, you should bill at least 50% upfront before you do any work, because otherwise you might have a client that's really reliable on Upwork, but as soon as they take you to PayPal and they know they're going to pay you after the job, they might not pay you at all, which is like you just got to be careful about that. So always take a 50% deposit.
So like
at least
50% upfront,
at
and
least,
then with PayPal you can dispute it if any problems.
Yeah, that's it. I know some people who say just go for the 100% upfront, just because it looks like you've got balls. Right?
Yeah, but then they don't trust you then, do they?
Yeah, and then but then you can negotiate it down to okay, 80, 70%.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
yeah. But,
that was a really interesting tip. Good mindset tip there. Yeah.
So what else is there? We've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. But yeah, I mean, if you have any questions about Upwork or Fiverr,
make a comment, and we'll do our best to help you out. So thanks, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
cheers. Thanks.